In the year 2021, the fourth corporate war began, and that's when it all went to hell. I mean, it was already hell before then for most of us. But man, shit really hit the fan. The next couple of years, it just got worse, until eventually it all came to a peak between Arasaka and Militech. On August 20th, 2023, it all ended with a literal bang when a raid on the Arasaka corporate building brought the whole place crashing down, right in the middle of Night City. The nuke that went off took out the entire corporate sector, instantly killing 500,000 people and displacing thousands more. Now, 22 years later, we're finally recovering from that hellish time. But make no mistake, it's nowhere near peaches and cream out here in the red. Now, Night City is an even bigger playground for booster gangs, technocults, and all kinds of unsavory characters that wear everything from spiked leather to silk button-downs. What you do now will determine your fate in the time of the Red. It's time for you to rise up from the rubble of Night City. It's time to resist. It's time for some disorder.
Hey, follow around the birth of a soldier. Ready to die if you live or die. Rise up, resist and disorder. Rise up, resist and disorder. Nowhere to run, it's all undone. Everything burns, everything burns. I'll watch you fall down, I'll drag you face down. Everything burns, everything burns.
All right. My voice may or may not have fixed itself, but if not, we might just have. Nope. Okay. No idea what's going on with that then, because I can see in like the little recording bit, I got some like looks like got some background static going. But anyway, session 19 of Resistant Disorder. So who wants to talk about what happened last time?
Well, we finished the raid. So it got a little hairy for a moment. Gave a bunch of Nazis the runaround. Robbie turned himself into effectively a one-man fragmentation grenade and cleared out a room. And then eventually we turned the tide around.
Broke my damn sword.
That did happen.
Should have had a better sword to start with.
Oh, yeah,
I don't like that because it's correct.
Yeah, you know, edge alignment. Fuck that, right?
I just straight up flew out of the hill.
Yeah, it's because Yama was using effectively a multi-time. That's effectively the long and short of it. It was finishing up the fight from before, getting all that handled, looting stuff, and just kind of like limping away. And presumably, if the other raids have gone according to plan, the Red Chrome Legion has been all but annihilated from Night City.
As you guys are leaving the complex, you'll get a message from Rex stating everything looks good on the other two fronts and asks how your side went.
Guess just reply back with taking some injuries. Jackie is dead. This node is neutralized. Like, effectively, that's the case.
Like in the driver's seat, you hear like Yama starting to like groan a little bit as he starts coming down. And you can feel the pain again.
At least you're not having trouble breathing.
Yeah, some of you guys took some injuries.
My leg is broken.
Am I the one who came out of this without, like, seriously being hurt again?
As a matter of fact, yes.
This is, in fact, fortunate because you can fix the rest of us.
Yes, I do. Y'all are expensive.
Babe, you're getting paid for this.
Okay, I'm expensive.
The upfront cost is a little much, but hopefully they pay you back.
I mean, you also get a whole bunch of shit every time you go on missions with us. So, like, I like to think we're worth more than we cost.
True.
You also
Right.
don't sell us shady street drugs on the side. So you know what? This is fine. This is fine.
All right. So Rex basically says, glad to hear it. We'll convene tomorrow evening to talk about basically to debrief, which gives people time to heal up. Some people might need to go into a tube, like Blitz.
I don't need to go into a tube. I just need to get my lung fixed.
Yeah, as long as I get the crit injury fixed, I can just sleep off the rest.
So I guess I didn't state clearly enough. Blitz, you're basically like not to zero at this point, because like I said, because we just kind of truncated the last bit, but you took a lot of damage, so like you're definitely under half your hit points right now.
Oh, okay then.
Okay. Into the tube you go.
Yes. Into the tube.
All I need is for someone to look at my broken leg, say, "Yep, that's a broken leg," and then twist it around until all its broken bits are aligned.
Yep, that's broken. Now it's protruding through the skin.
But it's not broken.
It's still broken.
Well, first thing is first. Anybody who has taken damage needs a first aid roll to be stabilized. Yama, did you take any more damage after you got healed up?
As a matter of fact, I didn't.
All right, so you're actually still stabilized. Cool. But yeah, Blitz, Robbie, Robbie, you took some actual damage, right?
Ugh.
Yeah, no, I was shot once, and the rest of it was just being a tryhard. Turns out when coach tells you to go 110%, when you go past 100%, that is that is past the point you can safely go.
Yeah, your HP is like reduced by 5 permanently now, I believe.
Yeah.
So I lost 5 from the bullet, and then I lost a permanent 5. Then I lost about 20.
Yeah. You push. I let you push yourself past your limits once, which just kind of gave you regular HP, and then you tried to push yourself again, and that permanently reduced your total HP there. Yeah.
I'm starting first aid rolls on them. So
Okay.
for
Can
was a
do a
19.
first aid on myself. Reconnect
Yeah.
with the.
Yeah, you just need a 13 is the DV for stabilization. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all 3 of them are stabilized. For Robbie, you can roll first aid or cybernetics. Both would apply to him. Let's see. Do you have any quick heals left?
I think so. I have 1.
So, Blitz, I'm going to say you're probably down to 15 hit points at the moment.
Yeah, just put me in the tank.
Yep.
Yeah, Blitz goes in the tank. I'm at 30 out of 45. The big thing is a broken leg. So I can sleep off pretty much all of this. I really don't need a quick heal shot. I'll be fine, honestly.
Robbie's
So you only get your body back when you rest, not body and will. The quick heal gives you body and will.
No, I know. I'm aware.
unless you have the antibiotics.
No, I definitely don't. In terms of injuries, I'm on the low end. It's fine.
After you fix his leg.
Yes,
Yeah.
that does need fixing though.
Also, my arm flex. I need it.
All right. So who has critical injuries that needs fixing? Actually, I think everybody has critical injuries need fixing, except for the one fixing them.
This is a good thing.
Yes.
Yes, it's bad when the doctor needs healing.
No, look. This is things working as intended.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway.
Let's pull up the critical injury sheet real quick.
How off is Robbie?
Robbie is only down by 10 points, I think, total. He'll heal up after a day. He's good. He does have a critical injury. He has torn muscle, which I believe
On the minor end. It's
first aid or paramedic roll for him. Again, specifically for Robbie, I will accept first aid, paramedic, or cybernetics to fix Robbie up. All 3 of those will work when fixing up Robbie. Let's see, Blitz, I believe. Yeah, Blitz has a collapsed lung.
Yeah, that's going to be actual surgery.
Yep. So let's see, treatments for stuff. Collapsed lung, DV 15. broken leg, paramedic DV 15 or surgery DV 13. And Yama, what was your injury?
Busted arm or broken arm. Broken
Okay,
arm.
same thing. Same thing for the broken leg. So I guess you can start with Blitz, and then he can go in the tube. So for Blitz, the collapsed lung, surgery DV 15.
I think that'll work.
Blitz, she fixed your emphysema.
Yay!
I fixed your lung and cleaned them out at the same time. No more asthma.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll take an extra 5 hit points for that. Yeah.
You wake up, your sinuses have never been this clean in your whole life.
I roto-rooted them.
Look over, what's all the pipe cleaners for? Don't worry about it. All right. Blitz, yeah, you're going into the tube. And then Dreamer, Robbie, and Yama. So for Robbie, the quick fix also fixes the is also the treatment. So you can just literally do a first aid on him or cybernetic check. First aid or cybernet will work.
First saber, cyber tech.
All right. He no longer has quote unquote torn muscles.
Cool.
All right, and then you got some broken bones to set.
Is that surgery or is that
Paramedic or surgery. The DV for surgery is lower though.
Hey.
All right, guys, what do you want? Evens or odds?
Oh no.
All right, Dreamer, your evens. Yama, your odds.
I don't want to have to replace your limbs.
Yama.
Why is it always me?
Is worse now.
You should have stopped struggling so much during the procedure.
I barely did anything.
I'm out of nitrous. This is why. What did I do? How badly did I fuck up?
You rolled a 7.
Yes, but what did I do to him?
So Yama, we said it was your shooting arm, I think we said, right?
Yeah, right arm, shooting arm. Yeah.
Okay. So she sets, quote unquote, the bone back, but it is not going to heal properly. So you can take you can take the broken arm off. However, you're going to have pretty much a -1 to all firearm actions.
Until I can fix it.
Until his arm pretty much breaks again, and you're able to set it again.
I'll break my own damn arm if that's
Oh,
what
no,
I
no,
do.
no. You don't know that it's like that. You're like, okay, thanks, Doc.
Don't appreciate.
Meanwhile, the Doc's like, yeah, no, it's totally set. Yeah, no, sure. Go.
This is awful, and I hate it. I hope she cuts your leg off.
You're gonna find out real quick that doesn't work when you try to start driving your hands and be like, wait a minute.
I don't need my hands to drive.
All right, Jimmy, your leg's fine.
Only with certain vehicles.
Yeah, mine.
Oh, luckily for Yama, he basically drives with his brain.
Right, but that doesn't work on the van.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't.
Fuck the van.
Yama, you have a permanent -1 to all firearm and two-handed melee attacks.
I'm working. I'm putting it in here
until you break that arm again.
Which is going to be the moment that Yama realizes there's a problem, and then Yama is going to find just like an angled piece of wall and slam his arm into it.
That might be a little too meta, honestly.
It may just replace the entire arm. It'll never work the same again.
No, Peter. You say that feels too meta, but remember, it's Yama.
It's my arm. It's hard to not know. He's got to notice pretty quick that for some reason his arm's not quite as good when he tries to do things with it.
Right, but to break your arm again to get it fixed, I don't think Yama would actually think of that.
He's not that dumb.
I also don't think you would want to do it in the middle of a fight.
I mean, fair cop, but.
All right. Anyway, so everybody, I believe, is good. Yama, I believe your hit points are fine. Blitz is the only real one that needs the tube.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sleep for a bit. Probably like I don't know, do some streams.
I mean, it's only like, oh no, because so surgeries and everything like that. So yeah, it's to the point of going to the next day.
Hey, did I collect anything decent off of those people?
Oh yeah, let's go over that because I'm pretty sure you guys are going to sell some stuff off and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty certain Jackie had some good stuff that Resin could pull out of her.
oh, I'm pretty sure that's what Resin is doing today is taking people apart.
Well, anything that would have been in Jackie's throat, you're not going to get because Robbie did stomp on that until the head came off.
All right, so gear that she had on her. Hassan, you grabbed her pistol. Yama, you grabbed her sword. For cybernetics, she has a cyber arm with a hidden holster in it, grafted muscle and bone lace, and the audio vox. The audio vox is destroyed due to Robbie, but you can detach the cyber arm and attempt to get out the grafted muscle and bone lace. That is definitely going to take you pretty much all day. Because that shit was grafted into her. Let's see. Otherwise, I think everybody else kind of grabbed a bunch of like Pistol brand pistols.
Grenades and a bunch of guns.
Yeah.
We're keeping the grenades.
I'll say that you guys can. There's like a vendit drop off for the pistols. Get like 50 eddies per pistol. So Yama, you grabbed a sword, so that was one slot. So you're able to grab or you grabbed a grenade as well.
Oh,
you grabbed a submachine gun too, didn't you?
Yeah, submachine gun, sword, and grenade. So I think I'm full up on stuff. Grab.
Who else grabbed grenades?
Grabbed 2 grenades. And
you grabbed 2 grenades.
Pistol that is now mine.
I was unconscious, so I grabbed nothing.
Right.
Now we put them in your lap.
Is that correct?
I will say that they were able to grab enough that would equate to you by just kind of like throwing them in the van.
Yeah,
So-
we just put them in your lap.
Oh, okay.
Did anybody else grab like a submachine gun or anything like that?
Yeah, I might as well take the other submachine gun.
I think there were 3 total.
There were 3 total. Unless somebody like specifically had said they were picking up a submachine gun, you guys grabbed just guns that you could like sell off and then whatnot. So, but if you grabbed a submachine gun, sure you got that. 2 more pistols worth. So, because Robbie could grab stuff too, so that'd be like 8 pistols. So that's about 400 eddies you can get off the pistols. And then if you want to sell the submachine guns and all the other stuff, that's a totally different thing. We can get onto that if you want to sell the more unique stuff. But other than that, you get 400 eddies by just kind of vending the Pistol brand pistols.
Yeah, we just put more of these mass-produced 3D printed guns back in the market.
All right, y'all can distribute the 400 eddies amongst yourselves. Basically, 100
that's right.
eddies, 100 eddies each. Since Robbie is essentially not taking money, so Dreamer, you can basically take his. And then later that evening is a new meetup with Rex.
I'm just gonna stay in the tube.
I was gonna say. So let's see. We're starting you off about 15. Your body's 6. You don't have the enhanced antibodies, so you get 12 per day. So 15, 12 is 28. No, sorry,
7.
29. It's 27, yeah. Numbers. I can do numbers, I swear.
So I need 2 days in the tube.
Okay, so meeting up with Rex. Would you say that this is like effectively like a day passes, so I get my body back in health?
Yeah, no, it is evening of the next day.
Okay, cool.
Oh, sweet.
Like,
Fine.
all I would have done is rested and done some streaming. We can like do roles for like me doing shit with my fans if you want, but like that's not super physically intensive.
Yeah, you just kind of do like a little thing from your couch or something like that.
Like just AMAs and playing music and answering like just whatever, like streaming stuff. Just keeping in touch with my fans.
Who's that weird goblin on your car streams who sometimes calls you old man?
Yes, that's my nephew. We're all quite ashamed of him. Just Yama approaching in the background, with just like hands clenched, ready to strangle.
But yeah, so next day, Resident, let's see if you successfully remove the cybernetics from Jackie's corpse.
It's a cyber check roll.
It's a surgery roll, but you can augment it by cybernetics.
Okay. What's that give me?
It'll get you a cyber arm with a hidden holster inside of it and grafted bone lace.
Okay. I mean, what's the bonus gonna give me so I can roll?
Oh, well, I'm saying, like, if something happens with the roll, you can roll cybernetics again to try and get a reroll, or you can roll cybernetics now. Actually, no, your cyber tech will, if you want to just take it, will give you a +1.
Who's that?
That gets you the arm.
Okay.
The grafted,
Sweet.
the grafted muscle and lace is going to be a bit harder, though.
Ah! Fuck
That-
me.
Probably no.
No, unfortunately, the grafted muscle and lace gets a little
I
chopped
spin-
up in your attempt.
Can I spend 2 luck so it's a 13 at least?
No.
No, I don't think that'll save it.
It's not going to save it.
Have a mild request. Could you put that arm on layaway for me?
Sure.
Yeah, I will pay you for it. Just later. Just later.
Yama, actually, you know what? Yama, give me a luck roll.
Okay.
At some point, the roll will go through. Here, I guess.
Better. I think I did it.
But you also critted.
You don't need to keep rolling that. The arm is indeed the same arm of your broken arm.
Yeah, that's that. That was the thing that just might. Sure, she has a cyber arm, but does she have yours?
Look, it's fine. We just need to fix the hand up a bit. That'll work.
And you two just happen to be the same height, or the same build and everything like that as well.
This is another one of the reasons that Yama is exceptionally touchy.
All right. So who is going to? Well, Resin, you're spending pretty much you spent pretty much the whole day trying to get these cybernetics out of Jackie. So you're probably not going to end up being there. Out of the 3 who are left up, Yama, are you going to go to the meet with Rex?
It is Yama's considered opinion when he doesn't show up. He is like 60% sure that somehow we got screwed in that previous deal. So now he is going to show up, if for nothing else, but to keep the old man from getting screwed over again.
I mean, in all of my dealings with Rex, I have not gotten screwed over, and in fact, got a gun for free.
Just because you're satisfied with the arrangement, old man, doesn't mean you got screwed. Doesn't mean you didn't get screwed.
I mean, I'm not the one who was grossly underpaid for stealing a flying car.
All right,
Think it won't break your other leg, old man?
All right, the meetup for this one is in Old Japantown at one of the clubs run by Tiger Claws. So as you guys walk in, the same 2 guys are there. Rex is also there, and sees you. And the Iron Sights and American Legion leaders. They both have the tall beer drafts. The Tiger Claws leader has a bottle of sake. They're all kind of
He has an
celebrating
entire
their
fucking bowl
victory.
of it like a cartoon Oni.
Yes, an entire bowl of sake. Yeah, so they see you and they kind of you kind of hear yay, and they're cheersing at you and everything like that. And as you approach, Rex goes, "Fine job, well done. What are you drinking?"
Good question.
Peach schnapps.
I turn to Iron Sights and American Legion's like, what are you 2 drinking?
The Iron Sights and American Legion guys, they've got like 2 giant draft mugs of beer. You can see the types or whatever. What exact drink there, you obviously can't tell, but
I'll just say I'll have what they're having. Because I know the Tiger Claws keep trying to approach me for business stuff, but the Tiger Claws are also a group that I'm trying to keep at relative arm's length. Yeah, I'll work with them, but they're also made up of some really scary people with some really unfortunate views. But the other 2, I'm hoping to kind of get on their good side of it. So I'll just smile at them, and go I'll have what you're drinking.
And then Rex looks at Robbie and is like, "And a can of oil for the Tin Man?"
Please don't joke like that.
This officer is currently on duty.
Rex gives a half-hearted salute, so "Yes, sir, officer." Cocktail waitress, brings a beer mug. Yama brings you a glass of rum, on the rocks.
Yama's probably gonna demand it.
Yeah, Yama is vaguely unhappy that rocks are present, but he expects nothing more from Rex.
So I assume you guys sit down. You're not just gonna be standing the whole time, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I will.
I mean, Hassan is going to, because even though his leg is fixed, it's probably still sore.
Yeah, no, you're gonna have a twinge for probably a good week. Medicine's a lot better, but it's not that good.
We can make it such that I can walk on a broken leg after just a day. That's pretty amazing.
I mean, it's Cassidy and stuff like that, right? So yeah, Rex looks at you, is all like, job well done, gentlemen, job well done. The Tiger Claw leader looks at you and is all like, yes, and very nice of you to leave the merchandise lying around. I very much appreciate it.
You're talking about, like, guns, right?
Of course, of course.
What would it be to determine that he is definitely talking about guns?
That he is winking very hard.
It is human perception. The subtleties in it is definitely human perception.
A humanity roll.
I have rolled an 18 for that.
Yeah, no, you definitely know he's talking about more than guns. Guns might have been part of it, but it is definitely more than guns.
I believe it is my considered opinion. Yeah, I think we left one of those SMGs behind. That did look pretty valuable. Yep.
Hassan's just giving that guy a look where it's like, I know what you actually meant.
I can't help but think that he sort of like looks at you and blinks like real hard 3 or 4 times as though like, is that supposed to be some sort of problem?
It's like, what if you wanted the bodies? You should have taken them. I mean, you took guns, so you clearly considered the question, right? I mean, come on, you know how much kidneys go for.
And Rex continues on. So, to continue on with business, the Red Chrome Legion is no more. What's left of them are scattered to the winds, and we no longer have to deal with their ilk until some other Aryan superiority gang decides to pop up somewhere. So, on that note, cheers, everybody.
To getting rid of scum.
Hey now, some of my best friends are scum.
Look, there's scum and then there's scum. You can work with, and there's scum that's going to decide that, Hitler was a stand-up dude. At which point, you need to ask yourself some real questions about what scum you want to associate with.
Unless there's anything that you want to specifically talk with Rex about, or any of these 2 or 3 gang leaders, I can just go ahead and truncate this encounter and get you paid.
Hassan's going to try to get in good with the Iron Sights and the American Legion, as well as kind of float the idea of trying to help what remains of the Valentinos back on their feet.
So if you bring up the Valentinos, they more or less say that the gang is probably not going to be functional for quite a while. What's left of them are pretty much underground at the moment. They're more like a crew than a gang at this point.
See, that's the thing. I wanted to do something for them just because they were helping me out with the Red Chrome gunning for me, and then the Chromers decided to just go in hard on it. So I'm feeling responsible. As well, they're just general pretty good guys. Overall, don't think they caused any issues for you folks, for the most part.
The scale of their operations have been reduced. Then the cost of logistical aid is significantly reduced. Show
Well,
of
do
good
you-
faith in the event that they are able to rebuild themselves to a substantial point would be a good forward investment.
Too.
Rex looks at you and says, I mean, if you want, I can just donate y'all's cut to them.
Insert visible glare from Yama in your peripheral.
They probably need more than just my cut after a fashion. Honestly, here's what I'm thinking. We did something pretty impressive here. 3 gangs coming together under a fixer in order to deal with one gang causing problems. I think that's a good thing overall. I think that speaks to a level of organization and cooperation that hasn't existed in Night City for a very long time.
It's not the first time this hasn't had to happen. I mean, how do you think gangs in Night City even get kept in check?
That's what I'm getting at, though. It had to get to this point. I'm thinking there's no particular reason why this alliance going on here need necessarily just dissolve after tonight.
You see the Iron Sights and American Legion guys kind of just giving each other like sideways glances and then looking at the Tiger Claws leader. They don't necessarily like say anything, but you can kind of pick up as all like, we only worked with, this guy because we had to kind of thing.
Now, just something to think about. And on that end is why I brought up the Valentinos, because I'm thinking, like, if Night City is going to see anything resembling, you know, stability, it's probably going to have to come from the street level up, because God knows the police aren't interested, and Max Tech is full of crazy people.
You hear a few chuckles after that, and it's all like, fuck yeah, they are.
So, just think about it, is all I'm saying.
The Tiger Claws leader looks into you, it's like, I couldn't agree more, in which I hope that we may be able to continue this sort of arrangement in the future, especially if you raise your status into office. I would be very much interested in helping you do so.
On that bit. But in the meantime, like, I can only speak for my own particular share when it comes to the Valentino. I would not dream of asking anybody else in my crew to give up what they've won.
Rex looks and he goes, fair enough, and he just kind of like throws out a little connector for your age and whatnot to get you your eddies.
Yeah, but all things considered, I do think that the Valentinos have actually participated in this endeavor, and are in fact one of the first to do so. So I think that deserves a little something, not just from me.
Rex looks and it's like, don't worry, there are already efforts toward helping them transition in this time.
I'm gonna roll human perception for that.
I mean, okay, yeah, I mean, you get what he's laying down, right? Like, he's gonna help them out a bit, you know, make sure that their territory doesn't get taken over by some other gang or anything like that, and that neighborhoods that they protect and everything like that kind of stay theirs.
Okay. Well, Rex actually has some pretty sizable pull, and best that I've gotten from him is that he actually cares about maintaining some sort of permit, so I can trust he will actually want to do that.
Rex is pretty much the gang fixer. He is the go-to in and out for, like, all of the various gangs.
Alright. And at that point, it's like, getting the money in, it's like, alright, well, glad to hear. I like the Valentinos. I look forward to their return.
Alright, so, total eddies that you guys got was... y'all got a total of 7,500 eddies. So it's about 1,500 eddies a piece.
So I think that would be by default 300, 3,000. Oh wait, is 7,500 after Rex already did the math for shaving off a bit and handing it off to the Valentinos?
No, that's the total. It comes out to an even split for everybody at 1,500. So
Okay.
it's 1,500 five different ways.
I'm absolutely going to give some of mine to the Valentinos, so to the Valentino Relief Fund. I'm going to say 500.
Hey, Resin, how much is tube fee?
Tube fee for y'all? Like $250 a day, I guess. Because
Okay.
I like y'all.
All right, I'll give you 500 then for 2 days.
Yay, money.
Yeah, it's just like there's
Money.
a little ping as things are wired to you all, and I imagine the moment Blitz gets out, it's like, oh hey, money for the tube stay.
And then I believe you have a charge for Yama for 1 speed heal.
Oh yeah, that whatever that is, because I
That's
don't remember. 200, 250.
If the president likes us, it's at cost.
Yeah, it's 200 to make it.
Okay, gonna pass you that.
So 200? Cool.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, y'all get them at cost, so...
And Robbie, go ahead and add the money to yours, because like I said, I'm just kind of splitting it 5 ways evenly as well. So just put 1,500 on you. Add 1,500 to yours as well.
1,500, you said?
Yeah, everybody got 1,500, and then minus whatever you want for charitable donations that you would like to do or medical expenses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I only put 1,000 on my sheet because I'm throwing 500 the Valentino's way.
I'm gonna go buy bullets.
There's a vendor around the corner.
Yeah, there's just you can just find a vending machine. Pop in money, get bullets.
So Rex is here. So if you want to, you can make purchases of up to 500 eddies for items that he may or may not have.
I kind of want to read like the other guys at the table after I make it clear that I'm throwing money the Valentino's way and seeing what their reactions are when it's. Or I'm basically making a big display of the fact that yes, I try to make good with people who make good with me.
Well, the Tactical Files leader is already keen on cultivating relations with you.
Yeah.
All right, so there's not much there. The American Legion and Ironsides, they look skeptical of you. You know, that's likely just kind of general distrust of anybody in Night City, right?
Right. So they're unsure about, you know, me just making it clear that I'm donating like a fairly sizable portion of my cut towards the Valentinos.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's kind of one of those things, like, they don't know how many people are in your crew specifically, so they don't know how many, like, ways it's being split, but out of, like, 7,500, they just see out of the 7,500, right, there's, like, 500 taken out, so, like,
Now, I'd make it pretty clear, I'd make a bit of a show of it, even, just like, alright, it's 1,500 for me, and 500 taken off.
So, yeah, taking a third of your cut, out, you know, kind of, you know, makes them raise an eyebrow at you. It's still kind of one of those things where it's all like, okay, takes care of his crew at least before he decides to do anything else. That might have a bit more of a positive reaction, but they still kind of have a skeptical look of you.
Yeah, like I'm gonna make it a point to talk with them a bunch because like I've already made like pretty clear indications that I want to keep up relation.
Mm-hmm.
So I just like ask them if there's anything that I can that like, they need, shit like that.
Yeah.
Just making it clear. It's just like I do good by people who do good by me, and I've got some fairly high aspirations.
Right. They're willing to talk with you at a later time, but right now they're kind of celebrating and they don't want to talk business.
That's fair. I'm gonna try to make them fans. Like I got free samples of my music.
You can give them your CD and whatnot, and we'll see what happens later.
I got my trigger. I got my finger on the trigger of charismatic impact whenever I'm available to do so.
All right. Yeah. If you guys don't have anything else that you wish to do with Rex, we'll go ahead and move on.
Yeah. In the intervening time, I'm just gonna be like doing more stream stuff and setting up like the actual press conference that I'm going to be doing like probably next week in that area. I guess pretty soon Blitz can come out of the tube feeling mint and fresh.
Yeah, so we're at Friday now. Friday morning.
I'm in love.
It's a new day.
8 a.m. Friday morning. The hustle in Night Cities.
I'm very groggily awake, but still in love.
You have an appointment with Biotechnica.
Yes.
So I assume I'm doing the drive.
Yes, preferably.
Yep.
And hey, Yama, I've gotten your nicer clothes washed for you.
You have not proven that I have to go in yet. I'm not doing it. You can't make me, old man. In fact, if I don't put them on, I don't have to go in.
What's the weather look like today, Peter?
Clear skies.
Yeah.
Yama's right again.
I can't feasibly force Yama into the next place.
All right, blue skies, plenty of ammonia.
So yeah, I'm just gonna. He's just gonna cackle and not leave the car.
You do whatever, Yama. I'm in my suit.
Dreamer, you walk on in. Robbie is presumably with you, as he normally always is.
I guess I can go along if necessary.
Yep. Also, that jammer that we used before, it wasn't a very big one, right?
No.
No, I have it if necessary.
Cool. That was what I was going to ask. So long as you have that on you, because we may need to use it very briefly in this conversation.
Ew.
Because I am not under any illusions that multiple places in this facility are being observed without people's knowledge.
Oh no, it's it is with people's knowledge.
Yeah, you signed the NDA, and you also signed the NDA about being recorded and not releasing the products of those recordings. It's a guarantee. You are not legally allowed to talk about what you might talk about here, or about the fact that you're being recorded, or about your feelings about being recorded.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you express that you feel bad about being recorded inside Biotechnica, they will sue you.
Shush.
Best
Oh.
case scenario, they sue you. You will be silenced.
So yeah, you go in. There's
be
not a
assured
radioactive
that you
wind
will
this
be
time, so you're not hurried in. They do a more thorough job of checking for like weapons and stuff like that this time.
Once again, I'm not going in with my pistols.
Yeah. Oh, Robbie, Resin got a hidden arm holster out of Jackie. Would you like her to try and install that for you?
Yeah.
Cool.
Just show
Yeah,
good
it's-
faith. I won't go with it filled with anything on this visit.
Resin, go ahead and do a cybernetic roll real quick. Cool, it's installed. Robbie, you have a hidden holster. If anybody wants to try and hide a gun, they can make a conceal or reveal check.
I am not attempting to hide a gun.
I mean, I've got a pretty good roll, but I don't see any reason to use it.
Okay.
If I need a gun, Robbie will just take it from somebody, and I'll take it from Robbie.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you go up to the biotechnical reception, say you're here for an appointment with Sylvia Campbell. You get checked in. You are handed a new set of NDAs. It's a lot of the same stuff. You are not to discuss, record, yada yada yada, so on and so forth. Anything you hear or see while inside the biotechnical campus. Blah 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 blah. It is pretty standard. Don't do these things, or we will kill you financially, socially, and possibly literally.
Yeah, I'm just like doing a quick go through it all, and like, okay, yeah, I got this thing all scanned.
Yep. No hidden terms or conditions on it.
Like, wait a minute, donate my organs when?
After
Why
your death.
donate?
Don't
Why
worry,
donate?
it's only upon death if death happens to happen inside the biotechnica building. We do not have jurisdiction outside of the biotechnica building.
That's some perverse incentives right
But the
there.
biotechnical building does extend 500 meters outside the physical limits of the biotechnical campus in all directions.
I don't think so.
Including airspace.
Including 10,000 feet up, and this is legal term on the documentation, all the way to hell.
I mean, there is like the underground bunker that does extend a certain amount, so that may or may not
way
be
into
included in.
Fully owned subsidiary of Umbrella Corporation.
Oh, yeah.
Legally speaking, nobody's bought hell yet. Therefore, we can do that.
Okay, so yeah, you're checked in. Obviously, your NDA includes, Robbie, since he is your property. Blitz, you're given one as well. Resin, are you coming to this meeting, or are you staying away from Biotechnica for the foreseeable future?
I'm staying away from Biotechnica because I saw somebody there that I don't want to have any part of, and I don't want him to know I'm there.
This is a second. Being checked out on a separate day by separate people. I guess I'll make a conceal reveal roll for the memory chip. You be honest with me if I asked, like, would 15 do it?
I would just not tell you if 15 would do it. That'd be completely up to you.
I guess I'll spend 2 luck.
I mean, how are they going to tell it's a memory chip inside all of your chips?
I mean, there was the whole thing of, various areas have scramble/descramblers that may or may not be painful to the user. Should they be recording things that they're not supposed to be? So, whether or not you have it in there, you would kind of recall that they have things in place for that kind of stuff, regardless.
Like, am I remembering wrong, or like I thought I was recording last time we were in here?
Talk with Hawkinson.
Yeah, Hawkinson at the mayor's office at City Hall was where you did all that before.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys are led into basically into a conference room. You see the 2 individuals that were with Sylvia are in there, but Sylvia is not in there herself. They motion for you to, take a seat anywhere at the table. Miss Campbell will be here shortly.
I'll take a look around the room before I sit down.
I'm gonna take a quick glance myself, just to.
Okay. What are you looking for, something specific, or?
What's in here besides the table? Anything?
I mean, you got a table, you got a video screen. There's some windows that look outside. Pretty standard conference room.
No refreshments?
I mean, there's a tray with like water and stuff on it.
I'll take some, and then I'll sit.
Well, a glance with 18. Anything seem amiss, or everything just seem fine?
Seems pretty standard. I assume Dreamer's seen a conference room before. Nothing really looks out of the ordinary.
And yeah, I'm just gonna sit down. I have brought a whole bunch of things to try to help with, like, talking with her about.
Mm-hmm.
Namely, the horror show we found.
Okay.
Didn't you give that to her already?
Like, not the full details. I didn't think that was gonna have enough time to, like, pitch the full details. I just gave enough for, like, a bunch of it was proof that your dad's alive, and also a bunch of it was just, like, preliminary reports on the horror show. I have brought more details on the horror show. Like, the dissection report.
So after about 15 minutes of waiting, Sylvia eventually enters the room from what looks like a hidden door on the wall right there. You see like the wall is like sectioned out into various spots, and then like it kind of like opens up, and then she walks in. You see that there is a room on the other side there. Unless you were like actually like kind of feeling across the walls, you probably wouldn't have noticed it.
Did it open in or out?
It opened into the room.
Okay.
Just in case it doesn't go without saying, I am, of course, still standing.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just, like, point at, the wall, and she's like, oh, that's certainly interesting.
All right, and so she sits down. She looks at you and says, like, I believe that you have already signed the NDA for having this meeting, so just to let you know that this meeting will be recorded for internal use and record.
Figured that was going to be the case. So, I take it you looked over what I handed to you?
I did. These are things that I have seen before.
I roll human perception on that.
Yeah, no, she is, looking at her, like, she is pretty, like stone cold isn't the right term for this, but, she is absolutely calm in her response to that.
Oh, so, you were aware then what your research is being used for?
There were no specified terms in which it would be used for, but yes, it was very easy to figure out the contracts that we have, as well as the volunteers being from Militech themselves.
Volunteers. Interesting word, volunteers. Interesting word. I passed some things over, namely just dissection reports, the audio recordings, just like everything that we got from the body, which I imagine is extensive because Resin rolled really fucking well for that.
Right. She looks at it and she actually like has a look on her thing of impressed. Like she looks at it like, this is rather thorough. Who made the report?
That I'm not at liberty to say unless they wish to talk about it.
Well,
But
should
as
they
you
want to
see-
talk about it, I might be willing to offer them a job.
I'll let them know. But I thought that you might want to know the full breadth of exactly what it is that your research is being used for. Really quite disturbing, honestly. Especially the audio recording, if you'll listen to that. That's why I mentioned volunteers was an interesting word.
She pulls out a little recorders herself and like different audio, but it sounds very similar to the stuff that you have. It's like, does it sound something like this? The audio that she has is much clearer, and it has like various different types between like extremely angry to like sad. One of them you just kind of hears very monotone humming that just doesn't stop, and then she stops the recording. Like, Mr. Hassan, this is in fact one of the reasons why I wish to have this meeting with you. Your unit, which I believe you call Robbie, I would like to purchase him from you.
No.
Now, before you say no, we do have a very lucrative offer that I think might be interesting to you.
I'm sure you do. The answer is going to be still no, I'm afraid.
Please look it over just in case you might change your mind. And she hands you like a tablet with the offer on it.
I'm sure it's a very large number.
It is €2 million dollars.
That's what I thought. It's like just a low whistle from Hassan. It's like a lot of zeros. And I put it back down on the table. It's like the answer is still no.
I see. Then how about this? And she kind of like waves her hand, and the amount changes to €5 million.
I mean, you can make that number whatever you want, but the answer's not going to change, Miss Campbell.
I see. Well, then I believe
I can give you an explanation as to why, if you're interested, but
I am not. The reason that I called you here was I was either going to procure the unit from you or I was not. He would be vital in the research and that we are doing here with the technology that he possesses, for the units that we have are unfortunately completely disabled.
like Hassan just kind of leans forward and is like, "Are you really, truly all right with this?" Like, honest question, because on the face of it, it seems like your research is ensuring that cybernetics can be installed in people with less chance that it will negatively influence their lives, and yet, well, you've seen what I brought in. You apparently were at least vaguely aware of it. It's being used to break people down into little pieces so that they're not even really human anymore. Just monsters that, when you give them the opportunity, beg for death. Is that really all right with you?
Mr. Hassan, for the sake of science, sometimes the inhumane is needed to make the future more humane. That is why Biotechnica, and under my request, accepted this contract under the stipulation that all subjects do willingly volunteer themselves.
That's the interesting thing. A really interesting thing. And I know I keep coming back to this, but volunteer. See, volunteer implies that people really understand what it is that they're doing, that they comprehend what is going to happen to them, what they are going to be involved with. And I think with something like this, I don't think anybody can really truly understand what it is that they are agreeing to subject themselves to.
Oh, we were very thorough in the explanation that was given.
It's Campbell. Let's not be coy here. You know it.
See for yourself. And she hands you a version or a copy of the contract that she has them sign before they're admitted.
And how desperate were these people? How many of them were just looking for something for somebody else? How many of them really comprehended that they were going to cease to be a person?
If you're asking if we just picked random despots off the street, that is not the case. All of our volunteers were volunteers from Militech themselves.
And I'm sure Militech, in its boundless magnanimity, did not induce those individuals, coerce perhaps, one way or another into accepting.
What Militech did or did not do before the volunteers were sent here, I could not say. However, each candidate was interviewed individually and gave their full consent.
I must say, Miss Campbell, this has been disappointing to me for a few reasons. It's going to be disappointing to just me, of course. There's someone else who's going to be very disappointed.
You must mean your benefactors.
No. I was talking about your father. He was under the impression you didn't know this being done.
See, you mentioned this person again. However, my father is indeed dead. Mr. Hassan, the person in which you have presented to me, I can assure you, is not the man you think he is.
He seemed pretty confident. Knew a lot about you.
She gives you a shrug and so like, anybody can know a lot about anybody if they have the resources. How do you know that he wasn't just trying to get to you? Perhaps he's trying to use you to blackmail me somehow. You really don't know, do you?
Good read on him, and he has no motivation to do so.
She just gives a smirk. Well, Mr. Hassan, if you are not interested in selling your Arasaka unit to me, then I believe we have nothing left to talk about.
Interested in selling him to you because he was my best friend when we were both children. He was kidnapped, altered against his will, and tortured into what you see here.
Yes, I am aware of the procedure that Arasaka put their full-bore conversions through. Unfortunately, I cannot argue with the results.
Then perhaps there's something that you might find interesting.
She raises her eyebrow at you.
He has moments of lucidity.
Ah, yes, so did the others. Remnants of what was left of their consciousness after it was sucked out of them. You see, some of it needs to be left behind in order for it to work properly. However, I can guarantee you that who you think is your friend is no longer there. He is not going to come back on his own.
Funny you say that. It's real funny you say that. Because the implication there is that it's just the odd memory or two, shared experiences that sometimes pop up. But Robbie has had moments after what was done to him, where he recalled events that spoke to the person that he used to be.
That sounds dangerous to me, in fact. Could be that should, on the very slim chance, regain consciousness, he would go completely mad. And then what he would do after that, well, I can only speculate. Given the skill set that he likely possesses and what he went through before, I would not want to be in the same room with him when that happens. Or actually, no, she doesn't say him. She doesn't say him. She says it.
And are you comfortable, truly comfortable, knowing that what you are allowing to happen through the use of this partnership, this unfortunately knowing partnership, are you comfortable with the fact that they are still there, that the chance is not insignificant, that they are still there, that you have, because even if you are comfortable with just erasing a person, for as horrific as that is, surely the chance that that person is still there being continuously tortured by their existence must give you some pause.
We have not erased any of their consciousnesses from their bodies, Mr. Hassan. We do not possess the technology to do so.
Implicit yet.
Miss Campbell, that is genuinely horrifying.
Even if we did, that is not the reason that we are doing this. So that when cybernetics are implanted in people, we do not have the side effects of it. We do not wish to use the technology as Arasaka did. We wish to improve upon it. I do not wish to make more units like this. I wish to have people live normal lives without suffering through them because they needed to enhance or upgrade themselves.
So, the fact that these people are being turned into weapons in order for some vague hope of increasing the speed rather than, say, go about it slow and steady, proper tests, proper trials, rather than, just turn a few people into monsters. That's it all just acceptable then.
There is always things that must be acceptable in the pursuit of progress.
And Joseph Mengele thought similarly, but most of his research was bunk. I came in here wanting to give you an opportunity, genuine opportunity, to work with people who would not go to these lengths, that would give you more resources.
Mr. Hassan, if you think your benefactors are any less corrupt than any other, then you are sadly mistaken. They may have the outward appearance of a noble, chivalrous, whatever adjective you want to put on them, but in the end, they're all the same. It is up to the individual to make the just decisions.
The individual alone cannot change society.
Isn't that what you're trying to do, Mr. Hassan?
No one gets it. No one really gets it. Miss Campbell, at the end of the day, I am going to be destroyed, and I've accepted that fact. All I am is a spark. It's going to be groups of people coming together that are going to make real and lasting change. For me, alone? No. An individual tries to stand against a wave, and the individual will be dragged out and drowned. A group of people comes together and builds a wall to stop the wave, and the group lives. See, I'm not originally from the United States, you need to understand. It's a frankly, I know that this isn't part of the United States anymore, but a bunch of the mentalities still remain. It's a very Western U.S. way of thinking that I've found. The individual standing alone upon the precipice saying, this far and no further, as if they would not be overrun. Ms. Campbell, if you think that you alone are going to draw the line in the sand and say, this is what we are going to do, I will not allow anything else, then I'm not the one who's naive.
She gives you a smile and is like, you don't work under me. However,
No.
perhaps since we're talking about opportunities, you might like to. You don't want to sell me your unit, fine. However, you might be able to still help me in this endeavor. And the offer on the table will still stand, well, slightly adjusted, and she waves the number back down to its original amount. You may not want to give us your Arasaka unit, and that is fine. He would merely be a stepping stone. We honestly need the source to continue the research and to see how everything is done. If you and your friends, associates, whatever you might want to call them, willing to help us out there, I can drop a new contract with those same numbers.
What, go to Japan, raid an Arasaka facility?
Oh, no. You don't have to go that far. In fact, the location is only a few blocks away, and she looks toward the blown-up old corporate center.
Oh, go into a radioactive hole.
The technology still exists there somewhere in an underground bunker. We just haven't been able to find it yet. However, I do know that those of you edge runners usually have some more eclectic means of finding things. Who knows? Perhaps the source for your friend is located down there as well.
Counter offer. Save you a lot of money. We do this, we find this thing, and you go to a group of people that I would introduce you to.
No. You find this thing, I will pay you for it. I have no interest in working with your benefactors. I am very happy where I am. That is my offer, Mr. Osan. You may take it, or we may conclude our business.
Go into the depths of Arasaka's sins. Try to find a needle in a radioactive haystack. Hopefully find something that might help my friend. And perhaps things that will interest you. That about the gist of it?
Well, my interests come first, obviously. That is what I will be paying you for.
I want to ask a question out of character real quick.
Mm-hmm.
We got this job, from Rex through somebody above him, right?
No, for Hawkinson.
Hawkinson wants this woman gone.
Oh, okay.
A number of assumptions from what Grizz told us that have turned out to be, unfortunately, not true.
Okay.
Well, according to her, but yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Who is telling the truth at this point is the question, is kind of what I was putting forward at that point.
Okay. There we go. I've got. Okay, so I have everything straight in my head. Please continue.
Yeah. I rolled a pretty decent human perception where, at the very least, she was at least vaguely aware of a bunch of this.
I'll lean over to Dreamer's like, if we go down there and get that stuff, it really, really could help Robbie.
That's why I just wanted some clarification. I'm willing to do this. I am. Mostly to help my friend. Because frankly, Miss Campbell, I think that you are deluding yourself and that you are allowing people to use the tools that you create towards evil ends. And I think that in a great many ways, that is what has allowed the world to get as bad as it has. But I want to help my friend, very dearly, very sincerely. If you can provide the necessary aid that we would require to get into and survive that hellhole, so that we might find whatever might be there, well, I am certainly amenable.
You'll be allowed to
Should I
access
say-
our entry site to the area, but past that, it is up to you.
They won't provide hazmat suits. Oh my god.
Robbie takes a couple steps forward and places a hand on Hassan's shoulder. Commissioner, it is advised that you negotiate a significant advance before accepting this commission.
Exactly
Advance
what I was
payment
thinking.
will be required in order to secure the appropriate gear for such an expedition. In
That's what I was
addition to standard hazard pay per industry rate.
That's what I was thinking, and my friend has a good point. You want this to have a chance of succeeding, we will need a bit of this up front. And you already know that I have a vested interest. Because I want my friend back. You know I'm not going to screw you.
Well, I know that you won't do that, not because you want to help your friend, but... I just know that. We'll leave it at that. She gives you
So-
she gives you that corporate smile.
I roll another, human perception?
I'll just go with your last one. Basically, if you betray me on this, you won't live to regret it. And then we'll pretty much take Robbie anyway.
That gets a bit of an eye roll from Hassan, because it's just, corporate posturing.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty standard at that point. But
It's like,
you
So-
but you also
No humans.
but you can also see that there is no indication that she is just posturing to you.
oh no, Hassan knows that she's serious. It's just, Hassan at this point, and because Hassan knows that in pursuit of what he wants, that it will get him killed. He's under no illusions about that. It's just kind of a case of this is meant to be scary, but at this point I'm beyond fear. So it's just yes.
Oh, and as an advance on this, upon signing
What
this
we
con
need.
upon signing the contract, I can even provide what our illustrious mayor was to provide you.
That would be. I'm very curious as to what you're talking about.
I believe he was going to give you a name.
That's certainly an interesting thing to say.
Again, this is all provided that you will agree and sign this contract. However, you do not have to give an answer now, and I need a bit of time to draw it up and put all the parties involved.
Draw up the contract, I'll look it over, and you'll get an answer one way or another. I am going to look over that thing from top to bottom, though.
Yes, well, for the constituents, can I please have names of your crew members who you wish to bring on this endeavor?
You can have them after I ask them whether or not they're willing to go on said endeavor. I will give no names until I have their permission.
Well, I'll need to know who to put on it. Edge runner handles will do fine.
I'll get back to you. This is going to be something that's going to need to be hashed out over the course of the next day or two. You know how it is.
Very well, Hassan. Yeah, she slides a card over and is all this is a number that you can reach me at. My assistant will take your call and the information that you wish to provide us.
Advise providing the number of expected signatories.
So looks Robbie is yes, at least tell me how large your crew is going to be.
5, maybe 6.
Property does not count for this, by the way.
In the name of politeness, I'm going to ignore that you said that. 5, maybe 6.
Very well. She looks at one of her assistants and... Harold, would you please show Mr. Hassan and his associates to the entrance? And he goes, yes, ma'am. So yeah, one of her assistants, the larger of the two, walks towards you and stops short and kind of like does a hand gesture and is all like, "Gentlemen, if you would."
Hassan stands up. Really think about what you're doing, Miss Cameron, please. And remember what I said about the folly of individual arrogance.
Mr. Hassan, I have had the last 15 years to think about it. I have come to peace with it.
May you go with God then.
And she actually gives the proper response to that in like Arab.
That would be something along the lines of like, "Peace be with you." Gets a nod from Hassan, and then we are escorted out of the building, I suppose.
Yep, Harold there leads you on to the end of the building, out to the gate, where I assume Yama and your vehicle is waiting.
Yep.
Yeah, playing the equivalent of like Angry Birds.
Just like a tap on the window, and it's like, "Yeah, we're leaving."
Yeah, he just opens the door. It's like, hey, where's the target? I'm supposed to do that?
Yeah, on that, Grizz is going to be very disappointed.
Oh wait, you screwed over Hawkinson?
Maybe. We're
Well,
not sure yet.
I've given us leeway for certain options. I'm saying as we drive, but it should be known. Well, I'm going to let Grizz know, probably that yeah, he's an unfortunately poor judge of character.
Honestly, Yama is just kind of excited that actually you are going to screw over Grizz. You are. I mean, not Grizz, Hawkinson. Yeah,
You actually like Grizz after a fashion.
Oh no, he's just like, I guess this is fine. I mean, he's working it off, and apparently he hadn't actually like bothered the nomads that bad. So yeah, whatever. I can just let this ride. But Hawkinson, it has been his professional opinion that Hawkinson should be fucked with. It's clearly some kind of enemy. Fuck him.
Well, like as we're driving, and I fill Yama in on the details, I'm going to also end with, and also I do believe that we're being watched. I think that we've been watched for a while. Her information on us was disturbingly good.
Nah, man, that's fucking corpos for you. They watch fucking satellites, fucking drones with weapons if you shoot the drones down. Just bullshit, man.
Anything that you can think of as to like how that's been happening. I know that you and Robbie regularly sweep for bugs, so I'm pretty sure it's not bad.
I mean, drones, that's easy. I mean, given their nature, I imagine they have small robotic animals that can follow people around, like pigeons and bullshit like that.
That does sound like a biotechnical thing to do, doesn't it?
Did you up your business score at all, or is it still kind of low?
I mean, I upped it to a 9.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a business roll.
Alright, not bad.
16, decent. One of the thoughts that also occurs to you is like, given her position in Biotechnica, she has a lot of resources available to her. And so finding information out about people, even information you don't think should be like easily accessible, probably isn't that hard for her to get her hands on.
Yeah, Cash says hello.
Like it's just the curious thing is, like, there's some bits that she hinted at that like were some pretty private conversations and wouldn't be on any recorded media, which is why Hassan's thinking like something fucky's going on. That's just the mindset.
I can say that if they're pigeons with cybernetic eyes and whatever, and possibly just plain old satellite surveillance, they know where we've been. Like, it's not hard to figure out who we've been talking to.
Yeah.
And from there, it's not hard to deduce like what was being discussed, because it is a known, very publicly known fact that like you were the subject of targeted assassination. Given that Biotechnica like exists in an ecosystem of corruption and power, do you think your benefactors have never bought from Biotechnica? In order to do that, in order to get a plum cherry equipment, they probably have fairly deep inroads, and from those, like, it's almost impossible to have 100% allegiance from everybody throughout a given structure. It seems reasonable that they could dig into whose asset you are.
Yeah. It's mostly Hassan's just like working that down just to like see if there's anything that he could do about it, and but then come to the conclusion probably not.
There's a given pay threshold. It's not hard for me to imagine that there is a subclass of people in Night City who like know like, who it is that tried to have you murdered.
Informants. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go back to Resins and discuss this job opportunity.
Yes. So yeah, just meet up at Resins. Like just drop that down on the table. It's a very large number. And
Yeah, Resin chokes when she sees that.
oh yeah, like.
Yeah. Are you gonna mention that she might have a job offer as well?
But I did say that I would. And it's just like, oh, she was also very impressed with your autopsy and overall diagnostic reports. I did not mention your name. I did not even mention your sex or gender. I referred to you as they. But Sylvia Campbell was interested in giving you a job offer.
They're offering me a job. Okay. My worry is that it's not actually coming from them.
To be very specific, Sylvia said she would be willing to offer her a job.
Yeah. Like, Resin could do whatever with that. All Hassan promised was he would like play messenger for us.
Yeah, I just want that to be clear. Not necessarily like, but not Biotechnica is offering her a job. Sylvia is offering her a job.
I mean, it's tempting, but I like it, especially since I have to tell them who I freaking am, and that's the thing I'd rather not do.
Well, that was also next point on here. Contracts that they draw up would require names. Handles are all right, but I agreed to nothing without bringing this to the group because I'm not going to make unilateral decisions like that.
Kind of fucking weird, but whatever.
They want us to go into an irradiated hole and dig out old tech.
Yep.
I'm interested in this because it could help Robbie, and also, well, the money would be very good for my continued purposes.
We know what they want, right? So we can just. What if it's good and they didn't say they wanted it? It's ours.
Attempted theft of Arasaka property is ill-advised.
Yeah, Yama. And I take Yama aside.
Yeah, I was just like deeply confused. Like
no,
what?
I take Yama aside, just like someplace where relatively out of like Robbie's earshot, and just like be really careful about what you say on that, because there are certain bits of Robbie's programming that Arasaka put into him that I found that kick in at the oddest times and will result in the oddest reactions. Sometimes violent.
What the fuck? I thought it was military.
No.
Shit.
So Yama, this isn't me like harping on you what I normally harp you on. This is me saying that like be really careful.
Nah, it's cool. I get it.
About
fucking
what you say.
Fucking fold me like a pretzel. I've seen him do that to other people.
Yeah.
Yes, we have.
I've seen him do that to people bigger than me.
So just smiling, Hassan takes Yama back into the room because now Yama knows to be careful about certain statements.
For you guys, I'm going to pull the curtain back just a little bit here so that you guys as a group can make an informed decision. This is kind of a part of the game where like the decision that you make to help out kind of affects things overall. Whereas like, because Hawkinson whole thing is that he wants to bloody a rival's nose who is backing Militech, and he wants to bring Arasaka back into the to the country to kind of even it out. Taking on this job would likely end up helping the Militech contingent in the end. So that's kind of the a meta decision that
and if nothing else, it is directly not doing what Hawkinson asked.
You
Also,
know,
sort of-
there's a way to make profit on both sides of this. We go in there, we get the stuff, we give it to her, we execute her after we get paid, and then we go get paid by Hawkinson.
There's a lot of problems with that.
No,
But
no,
before we
there's
get-
not.
Well, she's not going to appear anywhere that she isn't feeling very, very safe. Like, and
she's
going to
been
feel
watching us
extra
close
safe
enough to have suspicions about why we approached her in
at
the
the
first place.
extraction point where we drop off a bunch of like equipment and technical documents for her to obtain. In fact, there's very little reason why she might be there if only to inspect whatever we drag out.
There's a
But otherwise-
there's a fairly good chance that they're just going to execute us on the spot when we come out too.
Also correct.
Yeah. No, that's something that we're going to have to prepare for.
But I do want to go ahead and like just say meta. I found your decision to like pull Yama out of the room to have that conversation with him a little bit weird and hilarious because like Robbie is already aware of like where you're planning to attack. He was only like now like beginning to like now that everybody is in the room and we're away from the person giving us the cut like away from presumably the prying eyes and ears of enemies, giving you his pre-programmed tactical assessment.
He just kind of like reacted to Yama's incredibly blunt and poor choice of phrasing.
No, like I've been sitting on it for a while. Like I've been waiting to like bring it up, and like that was just the moment that like probably registered the complaint. If it weren't for Peter like taking us to this out of character space, the second you came back with Yama, he just would have like looked at you point blank and said it again because like look, I don't necessarily know what Robbie will do when you get into the Arasaka facility. Because Peter technically has in his hands the power to say that Robbie does something else.
Yeah.
I will neither confirm nor deny the allegations that have been brought before me.
Well, we do have a microwaver with us, don't we?
That's rude.
Why do I get the feeling I need to start carrying an EMP?
Not sure it would do much to Robbie, actually.
He's probably an EMP probably wouldn't stop him.
But yeah, like looking at it from the meta sense, because like Hassan's like of the opinion of just like both Arasaka and Militech can go fuck themselves, but from a very personal sense, Hassan hates Arasaka more than he hates Militech, for I think fairly obvious reasons.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yama votes for not Arasaka largely because that means fucking over Hawkinson, and that is definitely Praxis. We were supposed to do that the whole time.
Well, we are also going to need to take into account there may be certain reactions because, like, we're probably going to need Robbie for certain bits of this. Like, not just for the fact that Robbie is very strong, but also, like, when we go into a bunker, we may find some old Arasaka monster that we need Robbie to take care of. Assuming Robbie can and doesn't just treat that as, like, Arasaka property and just stands down.
I'm sure everything will be fine. I'm sure it's just a nice stroll through the radiated park.
Yeah. it'll
You
be-
know, it's like it's very much in Cyberpunk, like genre to like keep this from the party and like wait for the like sudden horrible betrayal, but I just don't have it in me. I'll go ahead and say outright that like if you guys sign the contract, I think Robbie doesn't say anything, like just sort of like nods and agrees to go along with it, and calls Arasaka. Like
just hey, like just to notify Arasaka that a retrieval team is going into ruins to retrieve.
An unapproved retrieval team, like please confirm instructions. Like,
Well, that'll just make things more difficult.
or easier, depending. Like they like.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
They could get there ahead of us and be cleaning it out, and then we catch them in the act. It's like, wow.
Or they like just like set up to like meet us on our way back out, and like thank you
also kinda
very
depends
much for your kind efforts. This is some equipment that was buried very deep, and we
They might just like
pay for it.
ambush the Biotechnica team outside and just be like, "You're welcome. You're welcome, and we'd rather not have to shoot you too. So here's some money
you for your work.
So here's some money. Give us what belongs to us and fuck off."
Well, I mean, it also kind of depends on if it does happen, who in Arasaka gets it, because this is a meta thing. Hassan does not know this, but Shinobu Arasaka absolutely hates his fucking father and wants Arasaka to burn to the ground.
It's entirely up to Peter, because like red, like what would I imagine what would happen is a red phone like starts ringing somewhere in an Arasaka headquarters. Like no, like wait a minute, what's that? We're getting like a retrieval response, like we're getting like an emergency response from something. Like, does anybody remember what that phone connects to?
Like, I am perfectly fine if that happens. Like, I don't mind, like, at all. Personally.
Also, on the plus side, it reduces the odds that he will betray you immediately or prevent you from going on this adventure if it's a response to the call out.
Because, like, I mean,
if corporate gives the approval for.
Yeah, because like there'd be no way for Hassan to meaningfully hide that from you. You were at the meeting room where a bunch of this was said.
Yes.
In fact, I think Peter, we might have just kind of quietly talked ourselves into like a. Obviously, this is not a complication.
I don't even have to plan all the betrayal. Y'all are doing it yourself.
This is clearly not a complication that can be like immediately resolved. But I think it's definitely a fact.
Like a secret betrayal. Like it's more.
I mean, Peter,
a meta betrayal.
Like this is just a sign. This is just ultimately a sign that like, you know, we're just like doing right by our characters and just talking it out. Where it's just like, yeah, no, this would probably happen.
I think we have in fact like just. Yeah, I think in character after we like consider it for a bit. Actually, yeah, Robbie's gonna tell. So what does that mean? What does that mean?
These things are much more interesting to talk about in like to treat like a writer's room rather than like.
Yeah.
So okay, so backing out of the meta a little bit. So we're still in the meta, but it is definitely one of those choices right now. Is like, are you going to help forward Militech's hold in Night City, or are you going to help facilitate Arasaka getting a hold back into Night City? Yeah.
Well, man, I've already stated Hassan's position, because Hassan does not like either of them, but for very obvious reasons, Hassan hates Arasaka more. Like, if it's the choice between the two of them, it's Hassan would hold his nose and like point at Militech.
Yeah. Well, so Hassan wouldn't.
From an in-character perspective.
In character, Hassan wouldn't necessarily know that's the choice. This is a meta choice.
Well,
So Hassan himself wouldn't necessarily may or may not make that connection that he's either helping Arasaka or Militech. Hassan, from what I see, Hassan is more or less just trying to help get Robbie back. That just seems to be his goal.
it's
One thing
of his
I
goals.
really wanted to emphasize is before I brought it up, everybody here, unless they were just keeping to themselves, perfectly willing to believe that they could just bring Robbie into this Sarasaka facility and it would be fine. Like, I just want to remind everybody that's where their in-character headspace was. That we can.
I mean, as far as everybody's in character concerned, like, you know, you are completely loyal to Hassan. Like, your programming is to be loyal to Hassan. So yeah, why wouldn't they?
So the fact that like a lot of you was stripped and turned off, so like we don't actually know what's left in you. Like character, we got no fucking clue what's left in there. Just sometimes shit kicks on.
But yeah, so like, as a group, it is going to be up to y'all to decide, like, do you want to go with decision of Hawkinson and help him out, and he in turn, you know, helps you out, or in ways that you may or may not know, you know that he'll give you a name and he's going to obviously pay you for the job that you're doing, as well as, you know, tell you who's been kind of hunting you down. And there might be other help after that as well. But, you know, that was, you know, neither, you know, stated or offered, but who knows. Or with Sylvia, which is basically giving you an upfront large amount of money offer. And apparently she and to sweeten the deal, she possibly knows the, at least the name of that Hawkinson was going to possibly give you. And obviously, one faction represents Arasaka and one faction represents Militech.
I think at this point, Sylvia is clearly the more interesting decision because this is gonna go sideways, very obviously sideways.
Yep.
Like we may all die, but it probably won't be boring.
Yeah, so I think the answer is Sylvia with the side effect of we expect capital C complications.
All right. So I'm gonna ask you all individually, player wise. Sam, what is your decision?
Go with Sylvia's offer.
Dave?
Let's go into the radioactive dungeon. What do you like?
Stephanie?
I don't like Miltech, but I don't like Arasaka more at this point.
Because you've had a lot of opportunity to look at Robbie and go, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And go, whoa, what the fuck? What did they do to this poor boy?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, there like some information that you would know about Arasaka, that like the stuff that goes done to Robbie was just by done by one faction of Arasaka. Now, granted, that faction has lots of resources, but you know, it's not the whole of Arasaka that did it. But yes, Arasaka still facilitated it.
Yeah. So, but it's still sounding like 3 for going into the radioactive dungeon.
Okay.
Yeah,
Obi.
I say radioactive dungeon.
Yeah, Obi. I think you've
Yep.
already pretty much said you want to go with Sylvia because fuck Hawkinson.
Yep.
Yeah. Yama doesn't seem to really care one way or another about Militech or Arasaka. He's just all like fuck Hawkinson.
Yeah. Yama was like, wait a minute, we're screwing over Hawkinson. That. Let's go.
What about you, Will?
I was gonna say screw them both, but I'm all for going down in the radioactive hole.
I mean, if the opportunity arises, sure. I don't think it will, though.
Yeah, I'm definitely up for going down the radioactive hole.
Okay, so obviously, like we brought it up in the negotiations with Sylvia, we're gonna do like part of that money up front so we can survive the hole.
So you guys, as a whole, have decided that you're going to go the route with Sylvia, more or less supporting the Militech faction of the whole thing. If this were like a BioWare like decision game, you know, you end up ending up going down that route. So you call her up. You say you're going to agree to it. She states that everybody who is going to be part of the contract needs to show up to sign individually.
Yeah,
Well, we can show up in a group to do it, though.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, each individual has to sign it.
Yes.
Like,
I don't want us showing up individually. That might go bad.
I'm going to talk with Grids.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
You're daughter is insane. She should be put down.
Like, I'm going to talk with Grizz because it's basically just like we're going to be doing this. This would be an opportunity to talk with her if you so desired, because like this would be contact. But sorry, man, but like you misread her pretty badly.
By the way, speaking of hardening against EMPs, I was looking at it. I'm gonna go ahead and just deduct 100 from my current credits to sort of retroactively put in the cyberdeck hardening, so that like I can't be deafened, blinded, and also potentially rendered unable to think by an MP grade. But it costs 1,000 per limb.
Which hardening were you looking at?
Non-cyberdeck options.
For which hardening were you looking at?
I just did a Control F harden, and there's harden shielding, which is for limbs, and then there's harden shielding for cyberdecks.
Yeah, that's the Netrunner one. That's Netrunner's thing. Yeah, basically the hard shielding. If you end up getting like all 4 limbs, I'll just say that you've got it all. Well, let me see. Is there one for like your head? Maybe. I don't know if there is.
That's why like.
Okay.
That's why I
if you
assumed that like
yeah,
that,
if you
I went and spent 100 and assumed that like it would be the equivalent. Like my brain is functionally kind of a cyberdeck, but it's not optimized for hacking into other systems. It's optimized for being an entire AI governing a human brain.
No, I would. I'm gonna say the shielding, the hardening, or whatever would be the same amount for everything. So like, I would say it would be your head / torso. Like I'll go ahead and say that if you want to do that. But it's still gonna be the same price.
Spine to brain, basically.
I guess. All right. Then I guess I'll.
That's what
have another.
2,000.
But I'm just saying, like body
1,000
part
for the central nervous system.
Yeah.
I will.
So
Instead of
that like
100,
you
I will
don't
deduct 1,000 for central nervous system hardening.
Yeah, so that you don't potentially like just asphyxiate if like an EMP goes off and it's just like, well, I guess I'll die.
Guess I'll die.
But it would be another 4,000 in order to get all the constituent each constituent limb protected.
Like, yeah, this is more to prevent an instant kill rather than anything else. But yeah, so like we're obviously gonna need some of that money in advance in order to go down into the hole. I think we did negotiate some of that. But yeah, like I'm gonna talk with Grizz, and I'm gonna say like, hey, this is something we're gonna be doing. If you want to come along, I'd be willing to talk with the Aldecados, like let you do so. This would be an opportunity to like maybe see your daughter. By the way, sorry, but like you misread her pretty badly.
Fully convinced that you are some sort of agent.
She told us you were fake news, man. So that's where you're at.
She is. Also, she has put on the stone mask and fully abandoned her humanity.
Yeah.
He kind of looks at you and is all like, "No, she's just really smart. Even if she does believe you, she would have to deny it outright, regardless."
Oh yeah, you did have that meeting in Biotechnica.
Yeah. So like, I'm just letting you know what we saw and what I read from her. Her body language is pretty solid on this, man. But like, I'm willing to talk with the Aldecados if you want to like help us go into the radioactive hellhole. This would be an opportunity to actually like see her maybe at the end of this.
Mm-hmm.
You interested?
All right, what's the deal?
Okay, so the deal as it stands is going into the ruins of Arasaka and finding pretty much like how they did a bunch of the things that they did in some underground that allegedly exists.
Figure out how they made the man
Yeah.
into a machine.
I'm mostly interested in helping out my friend. There is a big payout. You would get a cut of it. Also, it's the aforementioned, you would have an opportunity to actually, like, see your daughter, potentially.
He seems kind of torn at the moment. Where it's like, he wants to help you out a bit, and, like, and see his daughter and everything, but at the same time, he's like, I'm not sure if it's such a great idea.
I'm willing to make whatever roles that you want, but Hassan mostly just brought this up to him because it'd be a real shitty thing for him to, like, not.
Yeah, give me a persuasion check. You want to spend any luck on that?
Yeah, sure, it's end of session, sure, I'll spend 1.
Okay. So he's, like, thinking about it for a little bit and looks at you and goes, alright, I'm in.
Fantastic. Alright, so that's 6 people. You are gonna have to sign something. I'm gonna look over that contract, like, from top to bottom, for as much as that's worth. But yeah. So, good to have you on board. Chances are we're going to run into some awful cybernetic techno horror in the depths of a radioactive hellhole.
Oh, so Tuesday.
Something like that.
So you eventually all head back, all of you, to the Biotechnica building. You are led in, your entire group plus Grizz. Sylvia kind of goes over the contract verbally with you, for those of you who are too stupid to be able to read it.
What should I roll to look it over? Bureaucracy?
Business.
I'll spend 1 luck to make that 17, sure.
Come on. Fuck.
Let's see if I can do worse than that. Yeah. I ain't gonna sign what the fuck ever. Yeah.
I have all of these points in criminology.
Uh-huh.
That does not help.
Can Robbery detect if this contract is illegal? Can he roll? Is
Or
that an
at least
option?
Suspect. Like it contains, like usual, the...
You know what? I'll let you use your criminology to augment your business roll if you would like to do that.
Alright.
Alright, you will get an augmentation to your business roll.
Right, well, that's before augmentation.
Okay. That brings up to a 14. Would you like to spend any luck on it?
You know what? I will spend 4 luck to bring it up to a 17. That's the next threshold of...
Yeah, just as, like, Robbie and Hassan, the two that kind of know what they're doing, will go for the contract.
Mm-hmm.
I look over and goes, seems legit.
To which I slap your hands and go, you sign nothing until I'm done.
I don't think you're gonna find anything. Ha
But yeah, no. Getting up to a 17, you're able to bring your stuff up to a 17. You're able to read everything on it. Some of the interesting bits and whatnot is that, obviously, Biotechnica is not responsible for any adverse effects that may happen after the job is done. So on and so forth. You relieve Biotechnica of any and all responsibility. For after and whatnot. Death upon the within the middle of the contract results in automatic failure of said contract. Yada yada yada, so on and so forth.
Most I'm just trying to find like any traps, like just like wibbly legal like phrasing where it's just like, and upon exit, like we owe you nothing, like avoiding that bullshit.
Yeah. Well, that whole thing is like, is kind of like covered under like, the death of constituents during the duration of the contract renders the contract void and is terminated.
Yeah, but I'd like to point out that bit and go like, potential for perverse incentives with that bit, get rid of that. Like I just point that out where it's like that there's some potential for perverse incentives with this little bit here. And I just want to make sure that that's just not potential.
And what is the issue you have with this part?
The one where the phrasing makes it such that if we were to suffer an accident like 5 feet from exiting the facility with all of the stuff that we got out, and it's like, oh, hey, sucks to be us. Like a knowing look.
Yeah. I mean, she looks at you, it's all like, if you die during the mission, there would be nothing legally binding us to hold to you. It would be a dead contract. Even if it was still being upheld. She kind of like gives you a look over, so like, if you're worried about the betrayal of Biotechnica to you, I assure you that that will not be the case. In fact, I will even add in a constituent that agents of Biotechnica cannot interfere with your mission.
Now, interfere. This does not say preclude if perhaps we can require aid that you would be able to give. Yes?
Is there like industry standard language for like the I think the thing we want is agreement is non-negotiable upon delivery of cargo. That the payment will be delivered to the person's or next of kin if the requested goods pertaining to the mission are delivered. They're on the hook to pay that money to somebody if they get what they wanted out of this contract, regardless of the death of the participants. That would be the core.
Yeah. Well, so the way that it's worded is like, if you deliver, the contract is fulfilled. If all of you die somehow during the contract, the contract will be terminated.
We were just hoping to potentially avoid the issue of, hey, we got everything, but we're technically not out yet, and we just...
Oh, then there's nothing, there's no worries, there's no point, because there's nothing you could... Look, as far as this is concerned, like, murdering the people that you've signed a contract deal with, that's illegal. That would be redundant, because it's against the law. There are provisions in Night City that are against that sort of thing. Don't be silly. We wouldn't do that. It would be illegal. So like, there's no point in haggling over it.
Like there's blatant wording that she put in there that there will be no agents of Biotechnica sent against you to circumvent said contract. Is kind of like the wording that she puts in there.
We're gonna get it, I guess. All right.
There.
Yeah.
Are you happy? Are you a happy boy? If they ambush us and put a cap in the back of each of our heads, then we can sue them. We can sue their pants right off.
Yeah.
The absolute worst part is like there's probably just an incredibly like embarrassing story told to like every corpse kill teams about the time that somebody didn't double tap and the bullet actually skidded off the back of the skull, so they woke up and actually did sue in a court of law.
So yeah, everything in the end looks good. It's all legal on paper. There will be a total of €3 million paid out upon completion of the mission.
Oh wow, they increased it by 1 million.
They basically are. Actually, sorry, 2.5 million. There are 5 people here, according to them, and it basically splits up to like $500,000 each.
Yes, they're continuing to not acknowledge Robbie.
In that case, negotiate an additional, what is it, $5,000 or would it be $500,000? To you for consideration of use and maintenance of specialized equipment.
Yeah, I might be willing to I'll be willing to speak up and attempt to push that. Like once I was like, he can definitely at least do like enough long division to realize that. Wait a minute, it's $500K per, and he was talking about.
Part of the contract stipulates that there is a €5,000 seed fund per person to procure what you need.
Right, but we're talking more about like getting a big chunk of money in there for like essentially Robbie.
Yeah, we're talking about like the big payout at the end rather than the.
No, I know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Is there anything we can roll for that, or they're going to be like real stubborn about this?
They're going to be real stubborn about that. They do not recognize Robbie as a person, and they are business savvy enough to recognize what you're trying to do.
And essentially trying to get them to change their mind would be, for functionally speaking, required to like argue over the heads of basically everybody in this room, like rolling dice against somebody who just is not here. Basically.
You could start negotiating a big position and whittle them down to 250K. Again, for Dreamer is bringing into this operation a piece of extremely powerful, highly specialized equipment that requires extensive care and maintenance.
Up to and including regular psychological counseling.
They know without a doubt that is not true. They know that there's effectively nothing in Robbie's head.
Still need to maintain him.
Oh, there's plenty of stuff in Robbie's head, just not something that as far as they're concerned, a psychoanalyst needs to be concerned of. But like, it's still bringing an entire extra body, and like it is equivalent to like. I'm trying to think of like. One of the people you're hiring is a like whatever the future cyber hell equivalent of an Apache helicopter would be like.
Yeah,
so it's true that you're hiring 5 people, but one of them is one person plus an Apache helicopter. So
its operation needs to be fairly compensated, especially given how extremely valuable it is.
You know what? Who all actually has the trade skill, like at a competent level?
I think I do.
That would be Resin and Yama.
Yes.
Competent level would mean you have it at like 13 or better.
I think mine's at a 10, but I have plenty of points to put in stuff.
I'm at a 12.
You're at a 12?
Yeah.
Okay. Then no bonuses on this one, but somebody may make a trade roll, and it might get you a little bit more seed money.
Okay.
Roll persuasion to help with their roll.
No.
Okay.
You have made your arguments, and this is them considering. So I guess Yama, go ahead and make your trading roll.
Doing it.
Yeah,
Do you want to spend any luck on that?
I'm gonna go ahead and spend 5 points to get that up to a 21.
Okay. Very well, we will increase the amount of seed money that we are going to provide you. So I think, how much did I say it was before? It's 5,000 a person?
That is what you said.
Yeah. They will up it to 7,500 per person.
Yama gives you the this is the best I could do look.
Is everybody happy as they're going to be with said contract?
I rolled a 3, so yeah.
Yeah.
A sort of out of character question. Did they have something like specific, like that they put a label on that they want us to walk out with?
They are going to they are now going to explain to you the details of the job.
Okay.
They ask everybody to sit down, lights dim, screen goes on. With Arasaka banished from the country, there's no way to access the technology directly responsible for your unit's creation. She goes up to Robbie and with kind of like a laser pointer, like points to the little symbol on his frame, the one that I pointed out to you at the very beginning of the game, Sam. And it goes, "You see this emblem here? This is the faction for Nobuo Arasaka. His R&D teams built it, and others like him. From our research, they use the soul killer technology to suck out any trace of humanity that was left in them, and just left the training that they underwent, as well as some other added programming. With the engram of their soul no longer inhabiting the brain, it frees up a lot of memory. We're exploring similar technology, but in a more humane way to prevent complete loss of self. I believe that your associate was my guinea pig for one of the trial runs the other day." And she looks at Yama.
I look at Yama. Like,
he just kind of blinks and like realizes like, oh wait, that meant something. Because I'm not sure he mentioned it to everybody beyond. Oh yeah, I saw her. And
Yeah, no,
Well,
you
that-
didn't.
That's why Hassan's looking at you, going like, "What the fuck?"
like what? It's like
Moving on.
yeah, he just kind of real. It's yeah. He looks dumb.
your-
He looks dumb. He looks dumb.
Your mission, as you have accepted it, is to recover the information that is under the Arasaka building relating to Soul Killer technology. As far as we are aware, there is a completely intact bunker under the old corporate center where the Arasaka building is located, completely untouched. However, we have not been able to get down to it. Maintained to be difficult.
Difficult how? Difficult
She-
as in obstructions, or difficult as in there are things moving around down there that kill people?
She kind of like goes to the next slide. You see pictures of various little kind of like droid spiders and other things. It is under very tight security that we have not yet been able to get past, along with the rubble and construction. And she kind of like goes through a couple of slides of various defense drones and everything like that. As well, makes another click, and you see basically another Robbie on the screen, as well as other inactive units. Now, it is our theory that should the security be tripped deep enough into the facility, that these will activate and proceed to defend the location.
To avoid that as best as possible, then that's the answer there.
Indeed. Once you get past the security and into the heart of it, it should be the core that they are using for Soul Killer technology. You will need to extract the core and bring it back undamaged. It is very likely that along with the core, the engrams of the other units are also stored, including the one of your unit.
Okay. Do we have an estimation about how sizable the core is? Is it something that can be carried by a singular person, or is it something that we're going to like need to find like a dolly to put it on?
Your unit's upper weight limit should be enough to carry the core out.
So that kind of heavy. Okay. All right. Radiation issue. Like, you're giving us seed money, but if we're going to be getting in fights, hazmat suits might break.
There will be radiation suits at our entrance into the area.
No, I was more asking, like, you Biotechnica folks have perfected some, I don't know, anti-radiation pill or some nonsense.
Not a preventative type, unfortunately.
The fact that you didn't just say no to my joke is kind of alarming, actually.
You saw our menageries on your tour through here, didn't you?
Yes, but I also saw, like, the failures. One of them talked to me. I still have nightmares.
No talking subjects at this facility. It was your imagination. They
Exactly.
sometimes gurgle.
You see, it was probably like a kind of like an intern in like just like somebody in the corner who just like hears like talking and then just starts like taking notes really hurriedly.
Hey, boo boo. I'm sure you were mistaken.
Uh-huh. Okay. It's all right.
I'm not sure how Robbie would articulate this, so I'll just say it out of character for anybody else to ask this question in character. But like, she said no preventatives, and she put a lot of emphasis on that word. Do they have after treatment, like?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have
what
like
is
after
the cost of
they have like after
genetic
treatment
repair?
radiation and stuff like that, which is a stipulation in your contract that
Oh, good. They have to give us Radaway.
basically, yeah. They'll give you some iodine pills.
All right, so they're providing hazmat suits and they're providing treatment after the fact for radiation stuff, which actually kind of goes a long way towards.
That actually shaved 1,000 eddies off of everybody's like necessary purchases. it ain't nothing.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have so like pointing back towards the defenses? Do you have any combat data from previous attempts that we could go over just so that we know what we're dealing with more in more depth?
So she kind of like goes through a bunch of things, like one of the things you see is kind of like reminiscent of the Tachikoma. Yeah, I was about to say Tamagotchi, but that's not it yet. Tachikoma.
Absolutely not that.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
no,
you like
they'll all starve to death and make us feel real bad about
Just the wall of dead Tamagotchis. rolled to not be crushed by the guilt.
yeah, so like some of the Ame defenses are reminiscent of like the Tachikomas. There's a one of them just kind of looks like a cloud of dust. And then one of them is, and then it kind of like it's a zoomed in thing, and it's like this little like propelled drone. It's basically a bunch of like a nanoswarm. It's labeled as like a nanoswarm. And then as well as like smaller defense drones, defense turrets, anything you can probably think of that Arasaka would potentially have like shows up on the screen.
It's like, oh
How
wow.
old is this facility?
Right now it would be over 20 years old.
Yeah.
So at least the stuff is only cutting edge today. Okay.
Well, and it's a crapshoot how much of it actually is still functional.
Yeah, because
Otherwise, this would just be impossible. Like this would
if all the defenses that were like there before the nuke went off were still there in operation, then nobody could get in because anything that stepped a foot in there would die.
Yeah.
And obviously, teams have managed to penetrate at least some degree into the facility before, so theoretically, it can be done.
Yeah. She does go on to say that they have encountered inoperable units, so it is likely that a good amount of them are non-functional. They did note that it does seem like some of them were potentially scrapped, so it is possible that they are smart enough to take out working parts of non-functional units to repair themselves with. Think like Wally, how he like just kept taking parts of like all the other broken Wallies.
Only instead of, being adorable, these are murderous.
Yes. Murderous Wallies.
Okay, well, that's a lot. Presumably you have a map of the areas that you've managed to get to so far. We'll need that.
Actually, she just kind of like sends a map to like your agents and everything like that of the explored parts and whatnot, and the potential ways that they think might lead into it.
Now, any chance you, with all your resources, managed to find schematics of the building before it was nuked, or was Arasaka's defensive measures on that particular end still too good?
If any public record existed of them, they have been wiped.
Yeah, that's what I figured, but it was worth a shot. All right. We have seed money. We have threats. We have map. Just need to make our own preparations, unless anybody else has something else they want to recommend.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, I gotta go on a spending spree.
Yeah, no, we're all going to be doing that. I'm going to be looking for better bullets.
And as promised, she looks at her other assistant, the brick shithouse looking one, who obviously has netrunner gear on, who makes a couple of gestures and then does a swipe. And Hassan is given a dossier on someone.
Cool. They gave me that up front. All right. Cool. Who's trying to kill me?
I am giving it to you. I'm giving it to you in DM.
Ah. All right. Let's see this.
Watch it be my uncle. Mwahahaha.
I mean, I have a theory that it's the guy who blames me for like him ruining his own relationship at one of my concerts. But
I think it is Hawkinson and has been Hawkinson the whole time.
and that'd be a twist, wouldn't it?
Nah, it wouldn't be much of a twist.
He is a reasonable suspect.
It's like, and who's out trying to kill you? I am. Mwahaha.
Do I know this guy?
Son of a bitch, it wasn't Hawkinson.
Personally, no, you don't. You have heard of him before.
Rips off mask. And so, at last, the killer is exposed. I have no idea who this is.
yeah,
However,
like-
you did meet the person he's related to, though.
Oh, with that. Wait, is this Blitz's cousin?
I guess so, yeah.
Like, I'm looking at this going like, how'd I piss this guy off?
Wait, you mean it wasn't Hawkinson?
Oh, it's Jack Cooney.
The can I roll dice for recognizing that name? Like, it's Yama, but can I roll dice for it?
You know what? You can roll bureaucracy, business, deduction.
Presumably Blitz doesn't need to roll. Blitz knows who his cousin is.
This guy.
I mean,
It's your uncle's son.
I pick this.
He wants you dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I go out on a limb and assume that no, that doesn't do it.
no, it does not.
yeah, now Jack Cooney, son of Abram Cooney, who's on the Night City Council and executive of the prestigious Merrill, Asukaga, and Finch firm. So, like Hassan's just kind of looking over this, just going like, that out of the list of people who want me dead, this was not what I was expecting.
Give me a concentration. Everybody can give me a concentration check.
All right, I did pretty well there. Like, is this to recall seeing this guy cause an issue at one of my concerts one time?
Fuck.
All right. So, y'all might remember near the very beginning of the might not remember the very beginning of the campaign, the very first like audio news snippet that I gave to you guys. Jack Cooney was engaged to the heiress of another now defunct company, but still rather prestigious, and the union was recently called off. So that is the information that you would be able to recall of hearing this individual, is that they both split up.
Oh yeah, just like Hassan's racking his brain, and it's like, that's the only memorable thing about him. Like, he was engaged, and the union broke up.
Did you sleep with the girlfriend?
No.
Okay, here I have the text of it. It was, in other news, Jack Cooney, first son of Night City Council's Abram Cooney, the heiress of the former Tech Corp Tektronica, Lorraine Matthews, recently called off their engagement. Neither were available for comment of the recent split, but that's all the news for the hour. That was the snippet of it.
Yeah, like, Hassan's just kind of like racking his brain, looking over it, and it's just like, no, to answer your question, Blitz, no, I did not. I mean, this would be insane, but maybe he blames me for some reason? Like...
Go ahead and... actually, you know what? You don't need to make this search. Blitz, you're able to make this library search. You're able to, like, bring up this person and whatnot. They're not necessarily a prominent social, person in the public eye, but prominent enough. Dreamer, with your concentration, you remember seeing this woman at one of your shows one time.
Okay, he was at one of my shows. Maybe he was there too. Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah, like Yama hears at one of your shows, makes the obvious assumption and starts cackling.
Yama, shut up. No, I did not.
Yeah.
Now, my best to
I do
remember everybody I do sleep with.
Yeah, now the out of character stuff of splitting somebody up isn't something that in character you would necessarily make, but yes, this is the couple that you broke up due to your music.
Like Hassan is like making some vague connection that maybe this crazy person blames me for the relationship failing, but he can't really like connect how, because that's insanity. Like it's the only thing that he can think of for why this person would have such a hate on for him. It's also left him very confused.
But yeah, you have the information about who's apparently been coming after you.
Yeah, like Hassan closes the dossier and just like pinches the bridge of his nose and goes like,
"Who the fuck is this?"
You see like the gears turning for Yama, going, so when are we going to kill him? And then like, but for once, before he actually says those words, he stops and thinks about where exactly they are, and instead he just kind of like raises his eyebrows and looks like just directly at Hassan.
Hassan gives an expression of like later, one thing at a time, but it's definitely not a no.
So yeah, Sylvia looks at you all. It's like, if there aren't any other questions, I believe this meeting can be adjourned.
Right. I'm gonna figure out exactly who this person is. You sure it's...
We are sure. The guy who's obviously in the net running is like, oh yeah, it's him.
Do you know why?
Didn't really go into that much, but yeah, he really has a hate on for you. I don't know. Figure it out yourself, Rocker Boy.
So, Hassan, are there any other gangs that might be hating you?
I mean, not recently.
Okay. So, chances are whoever he can afford next is going to be coming next.
Like, surely he has a lot of money, but I'm not sure that he has like enough money. The like minimum price that would need to be set for your head at this point, like, has to be really high.
And let's face it, like, he arguably overplayed his hand in like managing to cajole like, one of the big security corps to come and raid you. And it was embarrassing. Is anybody gonna take a contract like that from him?
If his daddy is backing him or not.
On this though, like specifically, like his daddy can be backing him, but will his daddy be pleased that this amount of money is being flushed, basically literally down the toilet?
I feel like, sight unseen, my feeling is that Daddy's patience absolutely ran out when he embarrassed a security court like that. That's his line.
So when the Max Tech gamble got played,
at that point, Daddy's like, no more, no. Is he over it? You're not dead, so probably not. But can he do that again? I strongly doubt it.
Yeah, no, like, I kind of wonder what this dude's, like, story is, like, going on in the background, because it's gotta be, like,
like
a
to
fucking
hire,
Arrested Development plot because
like to hire out the entirety of the Red Chrome Legion, which is effectively what happened. He had to spend a lot of money.
Well,
So,
he
like,
got them cheap, so
yeah,
yeah, but like,
got them. So like the two things that happened that are of note. One, he made Max Tech shit its pants in public over you. Which, you know,
yeah,
not great.
right.
Then also, like, among those who are like are aware of these kind of things, it is also like apparent that he hired Red Chrome Legion, which was a not insignificant influence in the city. Like, they had well in excess of like 200 people.
They were a serious gang.
Yeah, like a major player in the City of Power. And after going after you, they were eradicated.
Well, to be fair, he did not directly hire them. He put it toward a fixer to hire somebody to do it.
Yeah, but it's definitely turned into a case of like going after Hassan and his crew is a dangerous proposition, which is going to increase the price tag like a lot.
And additionally, like if you were like a rich person looking to make fun of him, you can like draw a somewhat tortured but not necessarily an accurate cause and effect to this man is so bad at getting literally one rocker boy killed that he managed to get an entire gang killed failing.
Like more importantly, like the prices that any other like that Rex or any other fixer in the future would set. Like it goes to any fixer in the city and says, "I want Hassan the Dreamer dead. What do I need to pay to do that?" I'm sorry, who? you mean the guy who like him and his like posse of like 5 decapitated the Red Clover Legion?
Like
murdered the entire population of a floor of an arcology, all of them armed.
Well, I mean, beforehand it wouldn't have been, too much. But yeah, now that you have like some reputation behind you,
yeah,
most definitely.
Not just pure reputation points, but the specific reputation of a gang died.
Yeah, like I imagine it's now more difficult to hire someone to kill me in Night City.
Yeah. I don't know, like the bounty's definitely out there still, but it's more of a matter of who's going to try and take it at this point.
Well, yeah, because like a lot of people would go at it and go like, it seems that like if you miss the first time, that these people's response is to go hyper aggressive hard on you. So if you're gunning for him, you best not miss. And can you guarantee you can kill him the first time? If not, maybe not go for this one.
Yeah. I mean, maybe now he'll just straight up hire some Arasaka ninjas. Who knows?
Yeah, honestly, at this point, Corpo's kind of that's all you got.
Oh no, that's
yeah. Your money has to talk now because you can't. You're not.
No, the only escalation from here is like solos. Is that like possibly like corp equipped like solos?
And those don't come cheap. In fact, one solo with a good reputation is probably close to the cost of probably exceeds the initial buying cost of like the Red Chrome Legion. Because after a while, the Legion was just doing it on as a matter of warp principle.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, with that, I'm going to go ahead and end the session here.
Tech dreams of organic toys that are running out on the edge. Soft screams of the rocker boys